bit about the history of Startup Weekend in Adelaide, and now he's looking at me like, what are you talking about, Chris? But he's done this speech before, so I'll pass the mic over to Orren.
So as Chris said, my name's Orren, and I'm going to tell you a bunch of stories. I'm not going to take too long in doing it. It's going to take about 3 minutes, but it's a whole range of stories that come out of Adelaide. So back in 2011, I attended Startup Weekend in Sydney. It was the very first Australian Startup Weekend. My friend and I, Dave, 3 days before the event, we booked our tickets and flew out, and I think there's some people here that are not from Adelaide and have done the same thing. What I was able to achieve that weekend in those 54 hours was far beyond anything I could have done the previous calendar year. The problem was, there was nothing like Startup Weekend in Adelaide, and that's the very reason I had to fly to Sydney to go do it. Based on that experience in Sydney, we brought Startup Weekend to Adelaide. The very reason we did that was for everyone like you, so you could experience what Dave and I experienced there. Fast forward 2 years, we've now incorporated a not-for-profit association. We've got a team of 30 plus volunteers, like Chris, that have run this event. And we have a very active online community that we invite you to after this event. You see, this story though is not unique, nor is it very remarkable by itself. But it's very similar to lots of stories that happen at Startup Weekends. So what I want to share with you today is 4 stories that have come out of Adelaide events. Michael, Chai and William, they all met at the very first Startup Weekend. They ditched their original idea, and now they're running the Orren Distillery co-work space. And are a sponsor of this very weekend itself. It's only 2 years ago. UniCoach was an idea that both John and Anita had at the second Startup Weekend. 1 year beyond that, they now have office space. Finn, who is going to be here this weekend as well, he pitched a problem, and a group just like you formed a team around that to solve it. They then got seed investment in Innovise. The very last group that I want to touch base on is Ollie and Mal. They came together at the event 4 months ago. They've now incorporated their company as Museo. Each 4 of these groups experienced the same things I did in Sydney, and it really shows what you can do in 54 hours. All of you are going to start that same journey today. Many of you have got problems you're trying to solve, and you may not have got there quite yet. And this is the exact forum that you need to do that with. Please do not sit by the sidelines. I wish you all the very best for this weekend, and who knows what this may lead for you.
Thank you very much. Now, I wanted to actually get